The gridiron. The gridiron. Fantasy. Every single day. I forgot how awesome it was. The gridiron.
What?
All right,
That's
Fruitaloo. Fruitaloo.
Welcome to the Gridiron.
Well,
Kick us off, Eli. Why are we here today?
well, I think we're here to mourn a loss, right? To celebrate the life of a fantasy player in the gridiron who's come and gone.
Mostly come.
We've had a few come in and out of the league throughout the years. Usually the people who pop in and out only last a year. This player, obviously we're talking about Luke, put in 4 years. And I think this is the first person that hasn't left by choice. All the other people who have gone have been like, no, I'm good. And they've kind of pieced out. Luke obviously wants to play in the best fantasy league in the world. But couldn't make the cut this year. Fortunately, it is the Grady Gridiron, and gotta have that.
There's a certain amount of gradiness, yeah.
Yep.
But we are sorely gonna miss you, Luke, if you're tuning in.
Yep. I want to thank you for your years, and so we're gonna go through some of Luke history, impact to the league, records, best seasons, worst seasons, draft picks, and I will say, if this was his last year, he put up a pretty good showing.
Easily, it was his best season by far. He's returned to the CMC, if you're curious, Elijah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think it's homage to his one. We'll take a look at this. His very first ever draft pick in the league was Christian McCaffrey. When he had the number 1 overall pick in his first season in the league. 2021. Now, I don't remember. Did McCaffrey get hurt? Was that one of the McCaffrey injury seasons?
Wrong year, Eli. And it probably was, because I just saw that Jason picked him first overall in 2022, so he hasn't gone 2 fully healthy years.
There it is. Draft recap. The team Lily is cool. Drafting CMC at the top.
Should we discuss? I kind of want to just go through his draft back then. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, let's do it. Round 2. What's the
Also,
guy?
just to confirm, yes, McCaffrey was injured in 2021.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, he had, in that year, he took on the second most points against. He had a respectable points for, second most points against, and losing Christian McCaffrey. That is a pretty brutal first year. So probably gets lost in the record books, and probably we brushed aside and made fun of him for being a terrible fantasy player. But sometimes that's just fantasy. Sometimes you get stacked up with a crazy schedule that you get crazy points against you. You can see he's second. If you scroll down just a little bit more, Joe had an ungodly amount of points against that year.
Wow, by far the most. That's insane.
200 more.
We did an analysis one time of the spread of points for and against, and there were a couple outliers.
Yeah, this is
With,
probably
like-
one of the biggest ones. Well, I didn't even know.
I think it was
because
one of the
that's a
biggest
200
ones
point
of-
difference. Grant's in the
I
same
think it
year
was-
is also a 200-point difference.
This was a huge outlier. Travis's runaway season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The plus
And back to
minus
back.
is huge on that.
yeah. I mean, Luke did
It's
better
been a
than
while
me.
since we've seen Travis up at the top of the board.
It's been years now, which is good to see.
Yeah,
His
beginner's luck
momentum.
coming off, I think.
Yeah,
He's
he's had enough success for one lifetime.
cratered and burying deeper. I mean,
two straight years though making the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, look, Luke finished above Eli this year. So is he really that bad of a fantasy player? Plenty
I
more
always
points for.
snip snap, you know. So.
And there's me
making playoffs and getting knocked out of the playoffs in the first or second round. Look at that. He beat me the very last game. That's awesome. I have a match. Matchup data too. I can see what Luke's played against each member of our league too. I'm just gonna check out his team to end the season.
You should scroll back, like, if you can, a week or two to, like, week 12 to, like, see a legit team. Garop, McCaff.
He was he was obviously just playing waiver wire on his QBs and just playing matchups, which is a totally
he had Mahomes
fine streaming thing to do.
Oh, this is the year he traded Mahomes to Eli, right?
Nice. Nice.
When did he do that? Week 9.
Week 9.
You should check out your own team. I'm pretty sure you get Mahomes week 10.
Who shows up on his team after week 9?
Garoppolo.
Yeah, did I trade him Garop?
Nope, free agent. Oh, just click on Mahomes. See what happens to him in the.
All right, I don't have to be on the week. Oh, Mahomes just got benched. Was he hurt?
Nope, he traded him to you. Knew it.
Wait.
And then you traded him. He traded him.
He
to
traded
you,
him to me.
You traded him.
And
to
2
Pops.
weeks later, I traded him to Pops.
For Devontae Booker, Kareem Hunt, and DK Metcalf.
Devontae Booker is not a name I've heard in a long time. My God.
Kareem Hunt was probably.
Or Kenyon Drake.
Then?
That's a.
Kenyon Drake had a couple of good seasons for Miami.
So
apparently he was on
Las-
the Raiders at the time,
Las
so
Vegas.
he was not good then.
Not as good as his Miami days.
I traded
Does it say
Hopkins and Drake.
This is classic Eli also taking advantage of like a new player with a horrible trade.
Yep.
Not necessarily. I mean,
Kenyon Drake, dude, prime
and
Hopkins.
Hopkins. No. This is Drake and Hopkins for Mahomes. That's what that means.
All right, we should look at Hopkins' season then.
Hopkins is always good.
If we have the time. If we have the time.
Back then, he was the top guy.
Hold on, he'll show up on his team next week, which would be 11. Is there Hopkins here?
Wide
That's a
receiver
pretty bad
53.
season.
Maybe he got hurt or something.
Yeah, look at the show more. Oh, you traded him away at post-hurt, and he played 2 games after that. He was doing fine before.
Is it possible I traded him here? No, it would have been like
it just
right
said
here.
you traded him like week 11 or 10.
So he had a good second half of the season.
He had a terrible second half.
Other way.
He had a good first half.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at backwards. You're right.
Yeah.
He got a total of 18.1 points for Luke. Oh, that's so awesome.
And he did.
How did Drake do?
I'm sure horribly.
Oh, he was also hurt?
That's typical.
Oh,
Trade him two injury guys.
After you traded him,
14.5. Oh my god, he got 18.
he got 20 points.
Is that the Mahomes 50 touchdown year?
Hold on.
2021?
I don't know.
No, that was 2020, I think.
I think Mahomes might have been hurt at the same time as well.
He's had a couple of seasons where he had those ankle
37 this year. It was the year before.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I traded. See, if you look at this, I
by
think
the way,
I traded.
Mahomes, the last couple of seasons, Mahomes has not been a good fantasy quarterback.
No, he's not. But he's due for a bounce back.
Middle
I
of
traded
that,
for him.
he's got some wide receivers coming back. Richie Rice and do they still have Juju?
Yes, they do. They signed him again.
And they have Hollywood.
Hollywood.
And Kelsey.
Xavier.
Kelsey and Worthy.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of weapons.
Yes.
Great backup tight end in Noah Gray.
Yeah, terrific. All right, we should look at Luke's second season, what he drafted.
This has to be one of Mahomes' worst 3-game stretches. Interception 500, interception 275, 166. Like, that's really bad 3-game stretch.
It's probably one of the worst.
What did you say we're looking at, kid?
We should go on to the next year of Luke.
Let's look at a couple more draft picks from that first year, and then we'll go to the second year. Because I only saw CMC.
He took James Robinson end of round 2. I saw.
That was a good
Probably
pick.
he had like one good year, so he probably sucked this year. Yeah, 26.
Yeah, it looks like he was just
he really fell off after week 11.
Yeah,
what about 3-4? Rounds 3-4.
3-4. Mahomes.
Mahomes, yeah.
Juju.
And Mahomes had a perfectly fine year. Like, that's a great year. I guess half of it was on mine.
The latter half.
And Juge, this was his really 27 total points?
He missed most of the year. That's a horrible year.
Especially because you're probably starting him these games where he gets 4-2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if he's your 4th pick, of course you're starting him. Mark Andrews, probably a great pick.
Oh, nice.
Did he wait? Can you scroll down? Did he trade him? It looks like he traded him to someone else. To you. Yes, he did.
Wait,
Eli.
He traded Kenyon back to me?
He probably traded him to you in the first place. He did, yeah, because this is September and your other trade is November, so you traded him back to Luke.
Wait, hold on. So he drafted Andrews.
Yep.
Then,
and like 3 weeks later, he trades him to you.
So you got Mark Andrews, the number 1 tight end, and Patrick Mahomes off of him.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you gave away Kenyon Drake, who you got in this trade, and horrible Hopkins.
Sammy Watkins was not good this year, right?
And Antonio.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
There's no way.
Was Brown good in this year? This might have been his last good year.
It depends.
Well, if he played a full season, it was probably good.
This was his
71. No,
year.
He was not good.
Yeah.
Look at that. He had
didn't
good
play
games.
The full season. This is where is this the one he deuced out on that last game?
No,
it's totally when he deuced out.
Oh, yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
At NYJ.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Week 17. Week 17.
Oh, the J.
That's it.
J, yeah.
That's the halftime stats because that's all he played.
Yeah.
If you look at when we traded him, like, it was, I think, after this week.
Probably.
Which is so unfortunate.
Nothing.
Yeah, and by the time at Carolina comes around, Luke's out of the playoffs. That doesn't mean shit.
That's so many trades to Luke where they do nothing after.
All right, let's move to year 2. Check out some of those draft picks.
That's hilarious. Year 2.
2022.
This year, Luke went 5-9 again and finished 9th place again. So,
let's take a look at the standings, I guess. Yeah. What about the points? Well, the points are hard to compare because they drop when we went from 12 to 14.
Yeah, that's true. Impossible to compare.
But also finishing 9th back-to-back, he's actually 2 positions higher now.
No.
Missed the playoff by 2 spots.
Yeah, you're right.
Number 7 would have made the playoffs.
7 did. That's right. But he was 4 games out.
It looks like somebody made the playoffs with a 7-7. Travis snuck in with the 7-7.
Oh yeah.
And so he was 2 games back.
2 games back and about 300 points 4 off.
Interesting.
Trav had a massive points for.
Where's Trav?
Not massive. He was like 5th.
Yeah, 5-6. Yeah.
Who's
Sam had a good points for him.
Who didn't win the league this year?
I think that was the first year I did 0 RB.
Your first belt?
This was your.
This was our Hawaii year, Eli.
You have Ken and Fournette on 0 RB.
That sounds about
I mean,
right.
you trade. No, this was. You did Jefferson, Lamb, and I remember you drafted someone really stupid in the 4th. No, your 4th round draft was terrible this year.
Obviously, it wasn't terrible.
I think I traded maybe Hollywood Brown in the 4th.
That sounds right.
Or it was somebody
Look at the draft recap.
Yeah.
Your 4th round pick was terrible, I remember. And someone, I think Aiden let you luck out of it somehow. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Hollywood Brown.
All right, round 1. Luke picked Cooper.
Cup. How did
Probably a great pick. Nah, I guess not.
Oh, he was dinged up.
This is
a monster start.
Do you think Cooper's going to do anything for the Hawks?
Yeah. He's going to do exactly this.
I think he'll be fine. I don't think he'll be fantasy relevant.
No, I don't think he'll be fantasy relevant either. Is it JSN season?
Yes, it is. Top 5.
Who is Darnold going to throw it to that's not JSN?
Exactly. No one.
Who's our new rookie guy?
I don't know.
Get one?
Yeah, we got a rookie wide receiver in like the 4th round.
Yeah, Torrey Horton. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds right.
And Reggie White. Yeah.
They might pop on the scene a little bit.
So this is a good pick. Cup was a great choice at 1 there, or in the first round.
First, you're hoping for more than like 8 games, but sure.
Javonte's
obviously horrible. Oh, he started
decent.
Yeah. In one
was
good
this
game.
After his kind of rookie breakout year? It was, wasn't it?
Must have been.
Yeah. And then he got hurt all year. So we had 2 guys get hurt.
Yep.
Which you just drafted in your mock draft.
Did I draft both those guys? Yeah. Nice.
Cup and Javont.
Nice. But I drafted them a whole 6 rounds later each.
Round 1 and 2.
Okay.
David Montgomery. Interesting.
Monty when he was the... Was he the lead back for the Bears that year, or did they have Swift? They had Swift, didn't they? Yeah.
I don't know if Swift was around then.
Or Swift's still on the Eagles.
And Swift
was definitely was not on the Bears. Because they signed him last year.
This isn't enough carries for Monty if he's not splitting quite a bit of the load. Huh. Who did Sam take here? Sam took... Where's Sam? Pittman.
Michael Pittman. And then there's that 4th pick, Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, you had 4
was the lead.
Yeah, 4 wide receivers in a row.
Who did Luke take here? Judy.
Terrible.
Judy.
That's a really bad first. Yeah.
Fresh fruit debt, Jerry.
This is his actually best pick, highest position finish.
Yeah.
Did he even keep him all year? You should scroll down and look at the trade history. Oh, he did.
Wow, loyal to Judy.
That's not even... It was further down.
Oh.
Transactions. He kept him all year.
Loyal. Then he took Singletary.
When he was on Buffalo.
How did Singletary do? Not too bad. Flex.
Wide receiver 20 or RB 28. Terrible.
Yeah.
Let's see scroll all the way down. Let's see what happened with him.
Kept him.
Okay.
Hunter Renfro. Who did really bad.
Dropped him. Yeah.
Dropped.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, let's move.
He basically had
year to 3
no big hits.
I'm trying to see if he got anyone late that popped. Derek Carr. So we got Staff and then some Carr.
Back-to-back cubes.
Then Saints
defense.
And then Hunter Henry.
He's picking positions.
Yeah,
not Luke's
filling out the roster. Sometimes that's a big mistake a lot of people make when they're first learning fantasy. Is you think you got to fill out your whole starting roster first before you fill up your bench, and it definitely hurts.
Yeah, let's appreciate 2023 though. Look at the winner.
Boiled goose.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's a good year. I remember this year. You crushed.
Yes, I did.
Oh, it was these backs were nice, especially because you were benching Wilson. You dropped guys too to pick up Funk.
Yeah, this is the week 18 roster, so it doesn't accurately.
How did
represent.
Luke do?
Luke did better this year. He did 6 and 8. I mean, position-wise, he didn't, but he won another game. Because he had gone 5 and 9 the prior 2 years.
Yeah.
What about his point differential? I don't remember it from the season before.
I think it was slightly better. But I don't recall.
It looks... I'm trying to look at everyone's point totals, and it looks like everyone's point totals went up a little bit.
This year?
From last year.
I think this is the year that we added... What changes did we make? We might have added more defensive scoring a little bit.
That could have been it.
I think we shifted the quarterback points to direct and kicker points to direct. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we make these little tweaks every year to fine tune. I mean, the league just gets better and better every season.
We should look at the draft.
I've heard a couple people suggesting quarterback sack points at minus a half point.
No,
I'm into it now.
Before, remember, and it sucked.
No, I'm into it.
No, I've had
it's so awesome to
I've
be
had
at the end
3
of the
people
game.
say it to me this season, and I'm like, I tried that 6 years ago,
and we hated it, and we got rid of it.
Yeah, because people don't like negative points, but it makes so much sense.
6 years ago, quarterbacks were running a lot less.
Yeah, and
they were.
The running and the sacks are kind of muddled. Plus, it's not even the quarterback's fault half the time.
I'd say most of the time it is.
I would disagree. But
I'd say...
I say put it to a vote.
They can always throw the ball away.
I don't agree with that, because that's definitely not true.
What it's going to do is it's going to take 1 to 3 points off your cube every game. And that could be pretty dynamic in our close games. Like, Goff gets sacked 3 times at the end of the game or whatever. Travis loses. Be so sick,
If it happens to someone not other than myself, it's awesome, obviously.
It gives you extra incentive to play the defense against their quarterback, because then you have another stack.
Yeah, you double up.
The reverse stack.
A reverse stack.
You're reverse dumping sack points on them.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, they are losing yards for your team. Like, if a running back if any other player on the field gets tackled behind the line, they lose points. Why would a quarterback not lose points?
Yeah, and the direct rush yards would very likely be a lot.
Like the argument that
more.
I mean, the rush yards would be insane.
A running back tackled for a loss, or on a wide receiver screen tackled for a loss, isn't their fault. So it's the exact same argument.
But
for quarterback.
I'd propose we would axe those negative points rather than give them to the quarterback.
You can't axe those points.
Well, that's my in theory option if I could choose between the two.
Which, the average sack is 7 yards. A lot of sacks are even longer than that, like 10 yards, 12-yard sacks, and it's only a half a point loss. So it's still less than what every other player would get. I don't know. I like the sack points. That's just.
I like. There's quite
a
few sacks at the end of games in fourth quarters too, so it's like a pretty dynamic Monday night thing. Like, sack could totally matter, especially a sack fumble.
Quarterbacks get docked points for knees too.
That's fine. They're already scoring the most.
Are we keeping punters?
Yes, punters rock.
We're awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the extra level of roster construction you can do with that position.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Dynamic.
And weekly manipulation of timing of when they're available.
Yeah.
And 4 games could have been changed if people played punters last year, which is pretty sick. Like,
that's probably the perfect amount of games.
Yeah.
You don't want too
every
many...
other week-ish.
It's just, I just mean like 4 games were decided within 1.2 points, you know?
When
That's
you
all.
have seven matchups a week times 16 weeks.
Yep. About 100 games.
So I think that's good.
It sounds like we might have convinced Gabe to try sack.
No, I don't want to do sack. I will vote that down if it's on a vote, but that's just
when we took out sack points, everyone that year also wanted to double the bonus points. We should increase the 100-yard bonus and the 200-yard bonuses.
We should.
Like, people just like seeing more points, and they don't like seeing negative points, which I think you got to get that out of your headspace and like really think about how it plays out.
I
just have
points.
seen enough quarterback sacks to know that it's not always on the quarterback. And if it's not, I get very annoyed when I'm getting docked for like an obvious offensive line fuck up.
Yeah, but the quarterback is supposed to run that. Like, he's supposed to put people in the right position on the line. Yeah.
I would say
there's so many times
we should look up how many times Tom Brady's been sacked. And if it's more than one, then your argument kind of falls flat, because if the best guy can't do it, then why are you expecting
he's taking the risk that the pass opens up.
Yeah, so he could bring in the running back and put him, on the right protection, or he can choose to take the risk on himself to have that extra.
Sure, but the running back could whiff the block and let the guy run straight at him. That's my point.
That's also
and is
true.
that the quarterback's fault? No.
Sometimes.
Sure, but not always. No. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not always the fault. So when I see it happen and I get docked for it,
but interceptions aren't always their fault.
About to say, it's like saying interceptions
I agree with that.
are their fault.
And like touchdowns aren't always
bullshit in some way.
Sometimes you get a touchdown just because like literally someone trips.
It's like saying it's not fair that the kicker gets his field goal blocked. Like, it wasn't his fault.
It depends on the kick, and it depends on the sack, is what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
The right field goal kick
it's
should
always
be unblockable.
A bit subjective.
They're taking risks when they kick it low enough to get blocked. It's very similar. Yeah.
Some of them are the kicker's fault, some of them are not. That's just how it is.
I'm curious what this says. What did you guys want to throw out a number? I'm gonna say
Tom Brady's.
I'm gonna say 50-50.
Are we doing? Oh, what percentage? I see the question now. I think the answer that's going to spit back at you is 50-50. But in reality, I think 80% of the sacks could be nullified from the quarterback.
I think you've just watched a little too much Russell. So that was Wilson's problem.
How about that?
Search away.
All right, I'm going to say 77.7.
So you're closer to my number.
Yeah, you guys are.
No, you're closer to my number. Ooh. All right. Oh.
20%.
So, who's totally right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, maybe that's like directly responsible, but like, I agree with what Sam's saying. They're in charge of the offense. Like, they're taking the risk to be in that position. Mm-hmm. It's not like they just pipe the ball and it's like sacked. Like that rarely. It rarely happens. People just bust through. Like,
straight. It happens 79% of the time.
Yeah, it's a good philosophical debate, I guess. But when you watch, you go, man, most of the time when I'm watching, I'm like, dude, you could have threw that away.
Yeah.
When you're watching Russell Wilson, yes.
They could even choose to take a grounding penalty rather than taking a sack.
That loses a down.
Yeah, it's still a choice.
That's literally the same thing as a sacked. It just doesn't get. It wouldn't affect us in fantasy if they did that.
Yeah, they could save their own. What if they're
Yeah,
We should
betting
call
like
up every
huge
quarterback.
on
and be like,
themselves
don't
on
take sacks.
DraftKings?
Ground it.
He's like, I won't get sacked this game. $1 million, and he just grounds it all game. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, this year, by the way, Luke is the Dallas Cowboys.
Ah, Chubb.
And Chubb got hurt
Nice.
early this year. Yeah, week 2.
Dude, he's
That's some
just
pretty
had,
bad early luck for Luke.
yeah,
Literally week 2.
multiple years. But you know, a good manager should be able to overcome, and every one of us have dealt with early season injuries to top round draft picks, and
That's
good
true.
managers should be able to find their way around it. Find waiver wire guy. You got to be more aggressive on the waiver wire. You got to work some more trades. When that happens, maybe you got to sell one of your big guys to get multiple shots
what I did.
somewhere else down the line. Yeah,
We laid it this year.
I literally traded up to get Jefferson, and then he was gone. I lost a couple others, but I finished second in points behind you by like 4 points, Sam. Remember that? And I missed the playoffs, and I was so mad. Yeah, what else did Luke do?
Luke took Mixon here.
Luke was always awesomely active trading.
Not a bad
like,
pick. RB6.
I like how
Great.
active
Yeah, Luke was a very
in the
active
league.
trader.
Yeah, he never really offered crap trades. Like sometimes
Like
he'd offer
Sam.
low value and probe, but yeah, he was never wasting your time. Yeah.
Most of my trade offers are starting points. I'm just asking whether you're willing to respond back.
Yeah,
Always.
well, Luke didn't
We're always willing
start
to
conversations with us by crapping on us, you know?
Yeah.
It was a
At
good
least
year
I
for
send
Mixon.
off. At least I send offers out. Half the league doesn't even send offers. I'd rather have crappy offers sent to me than no offers at all.
I agree.
This is the year that the Dallas Cowboys defense was going nuts.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
And he
that's
had
why
them
his
in,
team is
like,
the Cowboys.
Rode him.
Luke also
Yeah.
had Lamb this year, I think. I don't know how.
Did
But I'm pretty sure he's got him. From Sam,
Oh.
maybe?
the Cowboys had like defensive touchdown records, right?
Yeah, this was the
Pick sixes.
Quandre Diggs
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Or no, the Stephon Bland year. Where he had like lead.
No, it was
leading picks.
Trayvon Diggs had a ton.
There was one point in the
And
season,
Micah
like,
Parsons was going nuts.
there, like halfway through the season, there was a stat like the defense scored as many touchdowns as the offense did for the Cowboys,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Drafted pretty high in the 10th round.
The Cowboys.
They scored 231 points.
Averaging like running back 2 numbers, 13.6.
Might be his
46,
best draft pick
17
ever.
picks, 7 touchdowns.
7 touchdowns. Look, that's just their raw defensive stats, right?
Yes.
Hold on. Because they also get the returning stats, which aren't included. Because they
You don't
did
get
awesome.
points for those.
No, but they get the touchdowns for kickoff returns. Dallas D
Yeah,
slash
looks like there
ST,
was
right?
2.
Which is not insignificant. That's a lot for a season. Because that's an extra 30 points.
Which, by the way, the new kickoff rules didn't change anything really.
No, we should go back to how they were the year before.
I agree. But we can discuss that later.
Yeah, at least split the difference on it. Like, bump it back up, at least halfway back up.
Yeah.
Week 1, 42.
Oh my god!
And then 19. And then 29. Then a 19. Then a 15, 27, 19. Well, it kind of fell off a bit, but that's such a juggernaut.
Yeah, that's insane.
Defense. Oh gosh. He took D-Hop. There's another D-Hop.
Yep. He took
On his
Andrews in the prior round. Again.
Round 3.
Did you
And
keep
he-
him all year?
Did poorly.
He got
Yeah.
hurt.
Oh,
Traded to Sam.
okay. So
Wow, that's
You
a
traded
mega
him?
trade. Yeah, see, I knew he got CD at some point from Sam.
right.
Yeah.
And you got Mixon. I was mad that you got Mixon. So he picked Mixon in his really good year and then didn't keep him.
Traded him away. I mean, CD probably did better than Mixon.
CD
I believe he
heated
went
up a lot
first
at the end of the
overall
year.
after this year.
Do you see I traded him two Chicago running backs?
Yeah.
Their starting running back, I think it was Swift that year.
Yeah.
And he went hurt, and so
Yeah.
I had both the Chicago running backs, and I was like, I don't know which one's going to take the job, but here's both of them, so you can, it would suck to trade him Khalil Herbert, and then the other guy takes off.
CeeDee Lamb
ran
like kind of a
wide receiver
mediocre
one.
start, and then he went
And then I traded him and he exploded.
bananas.
Yeah, I know.
This was a huge year.
I think if I kept CeeDee Lamb instead of trading away, I can't remember. I think that would have gotten me the championship that year.
Well, especially these weeks,
rearranged-
24, 38, 29. Those are huge playoff weeks.
It would have rearranged the playoff order and the seeding standings, and it would have
still
changed
scored.
the matchup,
I mean,
think.
you'd have to look at your team, but I think I got top score every week this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, you did.
But with CD,
Except
you might have.
You wouldn't have had a bye week, I don't think, and your first week of the playoffs was low.
No, I had the best week in round one.
Go take a look.
We should look. Yeah, we should look.
I definitely could be mistaken, but I remember that.
Let's look
going
at
back
the
and doing some math on it.
scoreboard.
Full standings and then final result.
Playoff results.
Hold on, can I zoom in and shift so you can only see 1 week at a time? Nice.
It doesn't look that well.
Well, let me zoom in even more.
All right, it doesn't show the score for Aiden. Because I wasn't even the first. Yeah, look, I wasn't even a first round bye this year, and I got 143.
CD had a huge
Sam,
game that week.
You can't say what.
CD did not have a 50-point week.
No, 50 points. No.
Well, I scored 50 more than you.
I wouldn't have matched up against you.
If you wouldn't have scored 94 in the most important week of the season.
Yeah, you got.
You had the lowest
worst
score of the week. You
like I said, it went. Never mind. You're not following what I'm saying. It's all good.
No, I know what you're saying. It
we're just
rearranges
making fun.
things to where it works out. Yeah.
Plus CD would have been in the lineup instead of not Mark Andrews, because I think he was hurt.
Instead, he did terribly.
Yeah.
What happened
And we're all
to your
thankful
team
for
that week? Week
He was
16?
starting Will Levis. Oh no!
No.
Oh, that was the year. Go back a
It
couple
would
of
have been
weeks.
week 14.
I think that's
Right.
when I had. Who was my? Oh, Herbert
No,
and
no,
Keenan Allen. I had the Herbert Allen stack.
It was week 15.
Which was leading
Eli,
me all
week
year.
15.
And
Week
then
15.
they both got injured, and I had
Yeah, Hall, terrible. Diggs, terrible. Shaheed, defense and kicker, mediocre. Achan, nothing. And this is Achan's rookie year, so he was going ham this year.
They won 30-0 this game, and he got 7 points.
It was probably a Mostert week.
Must have been.
I'm sure it was, because I had Mostert.
Yeah, if we're doing retrospective on the season, if I didn't trade Mostert before the season started, I would have done.
Yeah, and if I wouldn't have
Crazy.
drafted guys that got hurt.
And I traded
Yeah.
Mostert and Mike Evans, who were like running back 2 and wide receiver 5 before the season started for Tyler Lockett.
It's always
He's
fun at the
still-
end of the season to go back and play the what if.
Yeah, I mean, I won the season this year, so
And I honestly think that's important to do as a fantasy manager, is to go back and do the what ifs and play around, so then you are more prepared for the future. Like, is it worth the risk to take on this player or that player? Yeah.
Achan was kind of the single-handed, like, he was helping your team so much this year. Because you didn't have Mixon to start the year or Brees. You traded for both of them.
yeah.
And that
Brees
made me
came
so
from Aiden,
mad.
Right?
They were both trades that they should not have traded RB1s. They're like the most valuable. They're the most valuable guys.
Can we look at that Brees trade? Because I think it was shit.
I think it was with Aiden.
Yeah, it was.
And
It was a crap trade.
Brees
I was so mad
was
about
doing
that
nothing,
one.
I don't think.
For Zach Charbonnet and Brian Robinson, this is when Charbonnet had value. Because he obviously didn't do anything that year.
And
That's a crap trade.
You got the
him.
number 2 RB who had 264 points.
Well, look at the beginning of the season for him.
So everyone knew that he was the man. You know, it's not like, oh, shocking, he had a bad game or two. Like,
it wasn't 2, it was 4.
3.
It was 3, but he got like 4 carries and 6 carries. Like, they got annihilated by Kansas City and Dallas. You know, like, there's no run, and he's the man. Everyone wanted him. And then
it's not as bad as some of your trades, Eli. You have much worse trades.
I don't know. This is one of the worst ones I've seen.
I think it's the worst I've ever seen. Yeah.
What did Brian
Robinson? The worst ever.
Go to Brian Robinson. See what he was doing.
He had a good season, but there's RB2 is like, you know.
Let's see. RB22. That's pretty shit.
Well, look at his first 4 weeks when we made the trade.
Yeah. He also had a crap game. Bad.
3 okay,
bad.
1 good.
He went off
okay,
and
bad.
basically did nothing for 8 weeks. Had an okay game, then did nothing.
Well, we traded after what? Week 3, I think. So he's
probably.
He hit 20 once.
He was probably which that is. He was probably sitting at like RB4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah. So, note to self for future managers: don't panic. Trade away your best running back for
that happens.
Guy.
And Eli's been the best at that. Is getting the people who has a hot start, like a crazy week 1, and just trades them for a way better player, and has fleeced a lot of people.
We saw that with Luke last year.
Yeah,
but not first round. Top 5 running back. There's a big difference between sniping someone's like, third round wide receiver for a back that did great a week or 2, you know? Like, you took his best player by far.
Hey, but to be fair to Aiden, he's willing to trade his first round picks.
Yeah.
It was a rookie, so nobody knew what he was going to do.
Everyone knew.
Even Brees Hart has not been that great. His stats last year were not that great.
This wasn't his rookie year.
You sure?
No, his rookie year, Gabe had him.
2023 was not his rookie year.
Yeah, his rookie year, Gabe had him, and he crushed at the end of the year. Yeah. Right here. Going back. Oh, we gotta go back to history. That would have been 2022. Show full standings. He's gonna be on share the load. Where is he?
2022, he was a rookie. I'm looking at his stats right now. He was.
Did I have him?
Yeah, he was in the league. That was his sophomore year. I probably dropped him.
Oh, it's so awesome. Brandon Powell? Giovanna Foreman? Okay, that's awesome.
You unironically started this, guys. Okay. We should look at Luke's last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then suddenly.
All right, so this year, he by far
at
his best year. He made the playoffs for the first time. I noted this in the history vault that I have, but if you look at Luke's overall trajectory, every single year he did better than the year prior. So he was always
he never regressed.
He never regressed.
It's a good thing we're getting him out now.
Seriously.
Yeah, he could be taking over.
So his record was 7s, but he must have had better than average points for them.
Yeah, he must have clipped.
Remember he kind of just barely scraped Tate out.
It was him
run.
Oh, and look at this. You barely donged your way on top of him too.
Well, I was ahead of Tate, so I was fine.
You you and Gramps were fighting out that spot all season.
Number 1.
Yeah, that was a really good battle between you two. Honestly.
And you know who knocked out Gramps because he didn't get the bye in round 1 in the playoffs? Luke.
I know.
Nice. That's crazy.
I'm super sure my team never once scored under 100 points this season, and I was really hyped about that.
Yeah, probably easily the most complete season of any.
I think it was
year.
I was number 1 by week 1. I gave it up for 2 weeks to Gramps and then got it back. It was pretty cool, but it does leave. There's still the perfect season is still out there, which is pretty sweet.
What was the trade you made this year? That fleece?
What
did you get from Tate?
Well, I drafted Saquon.
Yeah,
I think
Puka. No, you got Puka from someone.
Puka.
Yeah. But
it was right when he came back and right when he started to demolish again.
It was before they even announced he was healthy.
For
he was like a
Waddle and
complete
Gibson.
unknown.
You traded him. You literally 5 days after you got him, you started him and he went ham.
Yeah, but
literally, Puka Nacua is one of the best providers.
It was like 3 hours
ridiculous.
after I traded for him. They were like, "Oh,
Let's
he's
look
healthy."
at Eli. Can you look at his season
That's
stats?
more ridiculous than my Brees Hall trade.
Go up to the how.
It's
his
not
points
because of
for
what was
on the
happening
season.
at the time, though. Like, they were saying Puka might be out for 6 weeks. They don't know, you know?
Yeah, but Puka's a beast. Also, he had been out for 6 weeks prior. So you got him at rock bottom value, and then he immediately comes back and demolishes.
Waddle was my 4th round pick. It's not nothing, you know? Like,
Waddle sucked last year.
Waddle was terrible.
I'm sure Puka was someone's
worth
first round
nothing.
pick. Yeah, look, he was a first round pick.
Yeah, but
Aiden.
he got traded for Chubb.
Again,
Puka got
Aiden
shuffled.
trading his first round pick away because he's fucking crazy.
What did you say? Look at Puka's year.
I want to see how many points he scored when he came back because this is what you got. Just do the show more. Yeah, so instantly 16,
14.
crap, and then amazing every single week after.
I mean, not Jefferson Chase amazing, but yeah, he was a solid wide receiver.
Is Jefferson
1.
Chase amazing?
It's
very
not.
consistently great
14,
and then peaks.
14 points at a minimum. That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, take a look at Chase. It's a different ball game.
He had like 600-yard games there.
Yeah, but look at who was Chase on? Chase was on. Shoot, Annie.
I remember Chase had
Aaron.
Or who had Chase?
It
Yeah,
must
it could
have
have
been
been
Pops.
Yeah, I think it was Aaron's team. Dave's team.
Did he trade
he had
Chase? Oh, here he is. Like, this is different. 40, then the 15.
Puka had a 38.
56, 23, 17, 40.
Yeah, but the
20,
lows.
19, 20.
This
He's
is
hit
literally
1-7.
exactly like Puka. He just peaks a little higher.
Yeah,
He peaks
exactly.
30 points higher 4 or 5 times. Like, he
peak 30 points
outscores
higher.
Puka. He outscores Puka by probably 180 points in the second half of the season.
Okay, so
No,
this is the wide receiver
Yes.
1 for sure.
Puka missed half the year.
We're not expecting Puka to be number
No.
1. We're expecting Puka to be top 5, and he had top 5 numbers for sure.
He probably had top 2 numbers behind Chase.
And CD.
Did CD go ham in the second half?
I remember him.
Jefferson
having
was
some good
going
games.
ham all year. Jefferson was number 2.
And Jefferson there.
I mean, yeah, Jeff's a beast.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I traded for.
He's consistent.
He didn't. I mean, if you look at my Amon-Ra trade, it was early. He had
See, that's
a bad game, and then I got him. But I also
What was the
traded
trade?
him Aaron Jones, who had a great start, like a 30-point game. He's
an old bastard.
even like that's and George Pickens, who was like not. He was my 6th round pick. Like that's
Whose fart soup is this, AJ?
AJ.
Right.
And
Yeah.
AJ had like
Yeah.
he needed a running back really badly, you know?
So your championship season is taking the 2 best wide receivers from the 2 youngest kids in the league.
Jones had a great season. Straight up Jones. For Amon-Ra is a fair
RB16 is
trade.
not a great season. No, it's not.
I'd much rather Amon-Ra. What
You'd
are the
rather
point
have an
totals?
RB16 or a wide
220
receiver
points
5?
versus what's Amon-Ra's points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide
50
receiver
point
3 or
difference.
RB16.
The 25, almost a 25% better player.
Sure.
It was a bit of a fleece.
But he also got Pickens.
Did he do
Who
much?
sucked?
No, but
Did he even
Pickens
start
was like
Pickens?
Pickens had a solid week 1. Like both those guys crushed. And they both generically did okay. Like, yeah. Anyways.
I think if you were banned from trading week 1, but you were fine weeks 2 and beyond, you'd have 0 championships.
I've made some sweet week 1 trades. Remember when I traded Mostert to Pops?
Yeah.
He literally
Or
had 6 carries.
I think you
and he
got
had 4
Mostert from
touchdowns,
Pops.
and I traded him to Pops.
Remember when you traded Pops? Who's the quarterback that got injured right after from Houston?
Oh, Deshaun?
Yeah, you traded him to Deshaun Watson in his big year, and immediately got injured.
I traded Gramps Hopkins, and Hopkins got injured the next day, too. That was awesome. But it wasn't even the next day. It was the same day as, like, right after the trade locked in. It was like, oh, Hopkins out for a year. No way. I just got to show you. We should move back to Luke, but October 23rd, 244. Let me show you. October 23rd, 2024. Puka Nakua. He was
He got
literally
activated off the
designated
IR.
after. And there was no
No,
news.
he's
like
reactivated.
I know, but I traded before
And
this
then-
was announced.
Yeah, and he played that Thursday night and had 100 yards.
Yeah, and it was shocking to everyone. Everyone thought he was out for multiple more weeks. Here's October 22nd.
I don't think that's the point. The point is when he does come back, he's the top 5 wide receiver, like guaranteed. So even if he was out 2 more weeks, it still would have been a terrible trade. Even if he was out 4 more weeks and you just got him for the playoffs, that still would have been a terrible trade.
Because the trade process is later, we made the trade before this one came out. They hadn't even opened the practice window for him yet.
That's not
And he had a
necessarily
piece.
true.
He had a
'Cause if you would have
PCL
traded
injury.
after 1 p.m., this would have been after that.
We traded at. Maybe it was right after.
Yeah. It was an hour and 44 minutes after.
Snap.
Anyways, total
Eli
wild
knew,
card.
and nobody else knew. So he fleeced him.
Yep.
Hold on. I deny the fleecage.
Hey, little cousin. He's going to
offered
be
it
out
to
for
me.
6 more weeks.
He approached me with it, and I just
That's-
smashed yes.
That's the
Yes.
same thing with the Brees Hall trade. I didn't propose that one. I just clicked yes.
Yeah.
So
I
the difference
gotta
is
find-
you took advantage of a preemie.
Although,
what he
to be
was
fair to
doing.
Tate, he had won the league before, so I
He
think
had
we're
won-
full game to take advantage of his trade offers.
Hold on. Where did
AJ,
Waddle
though,
end
I
up?
don't know. He was on Tate's team,
Yeah, where's
nibbling
Tate's
and
team?
gibbling.
There we go. Waddle had a bad season, but all of the Dolphins
Oh,
had a bad
it
season.
seems like Tate
Dropped
cleaned out the
everyone?
roster.
So how do I find Waddle? Oh, whatever.
You could just
Doesn't
go
matter.
a week or 2 before.
True.
Yeah.
So funny. Emptied it. Gosh, Gibbs crushed. Oh my gosh.
How much
Yeah.
was that? 348 points? Jesus.
And you still think Ken would do the same?
Yeah,
Ken's got potential.
like, can I make my stats
He just has
argument
to stay
super quick?
healthy.
No.
Dude, look at the stat YBCON, YBCon. it implies that if Ken played on the Lions, he would have about 1,100 yards more from scrimmage.
I think that's insane.
Because he gets touched at the average, on average, less than half a foot past the line of scrimmage, right? So if Gibbs on average gets touched 3.8 feet downfield, right?
Yeah,
That's like,
I don't know,
600 yards of rushing right there across the season. Like,
just
that's
said
just what it
1,100.
is. Yeah. But you get more yards per, like, basically if you take their teams and you put Ken on them, Ken's the man. Like
plus when you have that extra yardage, you have more time to build up speed, and then your yards after contact usually go up because you're going at a higher rate of speed, and you can see, you got more vision, you got a lot of good things happening when you open up that line.
Ken was number 2.
No way, Ken is
in yards after contact.
Gibbs level.
Year. His underlying metrics
and hey,
are better
we'll
than
never know, so you can always speculate. It's impossible for us to say.
And
there's no way
he gets the weirdest injuries.
Yeah, because he's
also, let's check out Waddle, dude. That's what we're here for.
Moving 500-pound dudes off it. He's backflipping over guys. Anyways.
That was Carson, not Waddle.
He's actively being benched in a game he's playing, so that's not a great
Waddle
sign.
doesn't put up 150 points, I bet.
Yeah. Wide receiver 51.
124 points. What did I say?
To be fair, Tyreek was like wide receiver 40 or something. Like, the Dolphins cratered.
He has 2 good games post-trade. And did Tate even start in week 12? Can you check? Nope, on his bench. And he goes off for 26.
It's all part of the plan.
26 is 25% of his entire season's points.
Same.
Trade was offered to me, and I just smashed yes. Like, yeah. Actually, that's not true. He offered it to me, and to play it cool, I was like, I don't know. What else could you give me? Yeah. Because if I said yes too quick, I thought he might read into it.
It's not like you can
anyways.
cancel it after the fact.
You could if you just threw a little like pity party and like, you never. Anyways, what did Luke do this year to turn the corner?
Must have drafted better.
Fred just didn't have injuries.
This is what won the league, by the way. It was just got lucky with the RB1 in the 10th spot.
Agreed.
Let's see.
Done right there. And
Luke's first pick in this round is AJ Brown, who was solid and he didn't get hurt. So that's obviously a step up from his past 3 years.
He's
return of CMC.
Right. Brown.
Although,
did he trade him? He did.
Of course he did.
Well, hold on.
James Conner, though.
Hot and then got hurt. For Luke, his first round pick again.
Yeah, he was off his team by week 2, though.
Okay, so we traded him the week he got hurt for James Conner,
which is
who had
solid.
A great year.
And Evan Ingram was solid.
Terrible.
And Ford actually had a solid year, but Conner
Evan Ingram was not good for Denver last year.
He wasn't on Denver last year, was he?
Yes, he was.
Wasn't he on the Jacksonville? I thought he got... Oh. Really?
Conner crushed.
Actually, no, you're right, because I had him for a stretch. I
think he just got traded to Denver this year, I think.
Ingram was a Jag.
You're right. You're totally right.
And he had a good season.
I started him a shit ton, and he had an okay season.
He was like tied in 5, probably.
Yeah, but that's a good season. Like look at Ingram like week 5. Oh, he's not even starting him. He's hurt.
I'm guessing.
Did he get hurt?
No, he's on his bench.
Yeah, go to the bench. Just pull up his stats.
Tied in 33. That's what I'm saying. He did not do well.
He got.
Open up the. His games that he did play are respectful for tight end numbers.
Yeah, they're not horrible, but obviously not great.
I guess when he played,
It was the year before, I guess. That was the good kind of breakout season.
Yeah.
oh, Luke had Pitts, who crushed. He had 4 touchdowns.
Evan
those
Ingram
are-
to Denver, though, is interesting.
Yeah.
James Conner had a really good season.
So did Mike
240?
Evans.
Mike Evans had a great season.
I love Mike Evans. Like,
He
I don't know if I'll ever have him
barely
on a
scraped it.
fantasy team again, but
Let's
like, he's such a fun player to watch.
remember this game where it's like, oh, there's no way Evans is gonna hit it, and then he goes
Yeah.
160. It's so awesome. And he went 118 here.
Yeah, he started the year horrible too.
He had what? Look at this. This is like maybe 400 yards.
He started
Here.
bad because Godwin started so hot.
Yep.
They were feeding Godwin.
Is this Luke's team right here? Because it's
This is Luke's team week 4. It's and he
I
has
traded him Jordan Love. McCaffrey's
Oh, yeah.
hurt. Yeah, Luke made
Big-
me a big trade this year.
Luke
Baker on the
traded
bench.
for
Baker was a great
McCaffrey.
quarterback last year.
He did. Can you go up to Jordan Love after you check this out?
Yeah, sorry. That McCaffrey trade was big because it was a big swing and it didn't work out for Luke. But I was trying to swing for the same thing.
I
think
it
we
wasn't
all
that
were
bad.
trying to-
Mostert and ETN, horrible.
Okay,
Right.
never mind. That's not ETN. Oh, Travis did so bad on the return here. I offered Travis Kamara like the same day that CMC got hurt. I was like, Kamara for CMC right now, and he was like, no way.
I made
Well,
him
so-
offers too, but I can't remember what they were.
So Trav got ETN for
Probably a couple of bench guys.
CMC and Mostert.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like CMC
All right.
did anything, but he could have got so much more than that.
Yeah.
You know,
We just didn't know
You-
ETN was
you
going to
mean-
fall off a cliff.
Yeah, I mean, you would have paid more.
no, I don't mean I would have. I mean, I literally offered Kamara, and I was sitting there when he accepted this trade. Yeah, so I offered more.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Not I would have. Yeah. And then he was
Should have
dropped.
offered more. Yeah.
Ah.
All right.
I love
let's
that
check
move
out-
by Luke.
Eli, can you check out Jordan Love?
Is ETN
now
done,
I-
or is he bouncing back this year?
I think he's worth a flyer, but he's probably done. But you never know. He could go ham. I don't know, Gabe. What do you think?
Who? CMC?
ETN.
Can TN
Oh.
turn it up a notch?
Can he
He's
get
probably
back
done.
to where he was, or is he done?
Who's ever gone that far down and gone that back up? You know, seems like he's out.
Quite a few players.
Name one. Who's been healthy
Uh,
and just totally benched by his team after being fucking awesome. You know,
Healthy. Benched. Calvin
Exactly.
Ridley. Calvin Ridley tanked in the middle of the Tennessee season. Got benched, came back, crushed.
he can get benched.
Pretty sure he got benched.
There's no way he ever wasn't their wide receiver one. He just had Will Levis as his quarterback. So he had
I mean,
a couple
ETN
crap
didn't get-
weeks.
Fully benched. He got
Yes, he did.
big speed.
Yes, he got totally big speed.
Yeah, but not benched.
something.
Just
He's a,
saddlebagged.
how about Falcons running back Devonta Freeman?
Freeman.
Gets benched, comes back, crushes, has like a top 3 season.
He had
There you
one
go.
one-off random good season, and then he was
Yeah.
crap after that.
That's all it takes.
Till he came back.
I-
to
yeah,
the
so he had a-
Bucs.
he had one flash.
Didn't he
in the
win a
pan
Super Bowl with
season.
Brady on the Bucks? He was there like RB4 or something.
Oh, he might have. And LaShawn McCoy was on that same team.
And he was on
And
the Ravens
Fournette.
the year after with Jackson. Yeah. They just got the squad together.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. This is a wild Jordan Love. So
That's
he was
massive.
drafted
Bye,
and
Luke.
dropped.
Then
He
dropped.
drafted-
I picked him up.
Wait, this is crazy to draft someone in the 6th round and drop them
and
2
drop
weeks
him
later.
2 weeks later.
And
Yep,
then trade for him.
Yeah, I picked him up and I traded him literally less than a week later. That's because Luke's quarterback got hurt and he needed one after he dropped Love.
He
or
was a little
something.
dinged, so he dropped him here?
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yes.
I thought Jordan Love was gonna have a better season last year than he did.
It looked like it right
Same.
around here, didn't it?
And that's when I traded away.
And then he cratered and then kind of middled.
Flatline. Yeah, that's crap.
It gets really cold in Green Bay and windy. Like, it's hard to throw the ball in the winter there, isn't it? Like, they're gonna
Rodgers was able to do it. Brett Favre was able to do it.
a hall of one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Isn't a great
Just saying.
2 of maybe the top 10 quarterbacks of all time did it. Yeah. I think Love's gonna have a good year this year.
Yeah.
And he's probably gonna be a little bit better. And this was a solid season still, so.
Yeah.
What else did Luke do?
I think we're almost getting that time. And I'm going to have to drop Luke from the league.
Oh, yeah, we should do that.
All right, let's go through.
Yeah,
all
any
these
other
rounds and
things
we'll
that
drop
we want
him.
to look at? Pay homage to our boy.
I think we should just look at the playoff bracket to showcase his win against Gramps. Obviously, the highlight of his fantasy career.
Great pick in the third, yeah. Stephon Diggs. I just wanted to see his team. He believed in Pitts.
It's then Love.
You don't have an injury spot for him? That's crazy. Keon, I was thinking about Keon there. I think everyone was. Jerome was a great pick. They traded. Jaleel sucked. Did they crush? No, they sucked.
No.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look then. That would be regular season.
Scoreboard.
Bowl. Results.
Scoreboards too. So yeah, Luke's one and only playoff win comes in round 1 of our playoffs last year against number 2 seeded Gramps. He crushed him.
Yeah, he annihilated him. That's a big score.
Easily the highest of the week, pending whatever Eli did on bye, because we can't really see.
146 is the highest of all the playoffs we can see right here. The next is 145, 144, 145, 143. So you're the highest score in the playoffs. And then he got slurmed.
Yeah.
The team cratered. Goes from the top score to the bottom score, basically.
He does end up rebounding because he wins the 3rd place game.
My team did what it did every week, which was like solid. But there were teams I could have lost to if I wasn't playing Luke. I was only like the 2nd or 3rd scoreless. I think each week I was score number 3, so like people could have.
Well, if you go back,
nudged you. Just wanted to see what Luke did here.
That's that element of luck. Sometimes you just need luck on your side. You just had I think everything was clicking your way last year, Eli, with the kid coming and the marriage and the fantasy football. Like, it all aligned for you last year. It was good. I was really happy that everything came together.
It's still coming.
For the last time.
Eli, could you scroll down?
Oh man, being a dad is hard, dude. I understand now. Yeah, scroll down.
Yeah, you definitely did. If the bracket was slightly different, you would have easily got bounced. But
yeah, if you matched up against Annie that week,
sure.
And
I scored the 2nd most, and Annie would have knocked me. Yeah.
So actually, if Gramps would have won, you would have been knocked out because we arranged that week where the highest seed plays the lowest remaining seed.
That's true.
Yep. Seeded or reseeded.
So I would have played Gramps, and Annie would have played you. And so,
or if I would have won.
Right.
No, that wouldn't change because Luke would still play Eli.
What was your score of round 2?
I had the second highest.
It doesn't
Only
say
Annie
because
could
I had to
knock
buy.
me.
Oh, you had to buy.
Oh no,
week.
Pops had a high score. Shoot, I had the third highest. Third.
There's lots of ways. Yeah.
So yeah, if Gramps would have won that first week, then you would have lost. But that's fantasy. You never know.
Week 1, I had 137, and so there was a 146. Yeah. I mean, scoring the third most gives you a very good chance to win, but not guaranteed.
If you wouldn't have got that bye and Gramps was in the bye, you would have faced Luke that first week as well.
Yep.
So you would have lost that way.
But Luke wouldn't have made the playoffs. No, he would have, because Gabe is the one who knocked Gramps out of the bye. No, but Luke did too, so Gramps and I weren't tied on points. It was nowhere close. So
I didn't beat Gramps last year, so I'm not one of his 3 losses.
But if Gramps beats Luke, then Luke doesn't make the playoffs.
What are you talking about?
Interesting. Because you're saying if Gramps...
No, we're just saying if Gramps is the number 1 seed and you're number 2 seed, you lose week 1.
I was just saying the only way that happens, though, is if Luke
Gramps
doesn't beat him.
The only way that happens is if you lose one more game and Gramps wins one more. If you switch your results in season, he's the 1 seed and you're the 2.
Gramps beat me in the season.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, it goes to show, I feel like I had a killer season and easily could have just got trounced by Luke. Right here, almost perfect season and just crushed. Nothing you can do about it,
Anything happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just got to make it.
That's like my philosophy. It's if you make the playoffs consistently, you're a good fantasy player. Then just taking it all away, it's just sometimes you those lucky matchups, things break your way. There is still some skill. You got to find the right matchups, maybe a defensive switch or a key punter. But yeah.
I forgot how intense this game was. It was
5 points, pretty tight.
Monday night needed. Yeah, it was pretty intense. I can't remember this one very well, probably because it wasn't as intense. Anyways.
Yep. Nice work.
I'm clearly going through Luke's history. He traded a lot, and that was awesome.
We're going to miss it.
Let's see.
Do we have trade stats? Can't we see historic trades?
No, we can only see
current I think I can.
Season.
Sam can.
Transaction counter.
Yes.
What do you want to look at?
Oh, I think I can see it here too.
This is just for last year.
It might reset them every year.
Can you see it for more than 1 year?
My computer's being a little slow right now.
Specific year's history, perhaps.
What are you curious about?
Just curious, maybe Luke's first year. How much did he trade? Is there a transaction counter in here?
And then from here, if you go to league and transaction counter. Yep. See, this is for this year.
Nice.
Luke made 3 trades. The third most behind yourself and me, Eli. At 10 and 8.
So awesome.
Those are good trade numbers.
Yeah. It's not even 1 per week.
Let's see.
What is a loss? Oh, dropping someone from your team?
No, literally a loss. You lost 9 games this year. That's what that means.
Weird. It's weird that it doesn't say wins here, too.
How come I don't see it?
Oh, maybe because loss is more clearly I don't know. That makes sense.
Doesn't make
I
sense.
got to look at Luke's other 2 years real quick. How about
Yeah.
season 22? Did he trade more? What? Okay, we'll go to
You're in the right.
22. Lead office. Transaction counter.
He made 3 trades again.
So consistent.
Oh, look, I won the trade title this year with 9.
Oh, I only had 8.
Look, and Aiden's at 7. Aiden's been a trade master, too.
135 activations. That's awesome. What about 23?
Press the wrong button.
Yeah.
All right,
Luke.
I've got managers queued up. I'm ready to remove them.
Oh man.
You guys
Just
ready?
got to check out one more year.
Oh.
Let's look at.
Yeah, hold on. Which was last year.
Yep. Wrong year.
Oh. What? Oh yeah.
You're still in 2023. There you go. Six.
Ooh.
So he doubled his prior trade total.
Look at this,
Sweet.
Tate.
Tate
That
with
might
12.
be a record.
And Aiden with 8. Probably the first time ever me or you wasn't in top 2.
I had 13 guys going to IR. Oh, I was
Picked up
probably
injured guys.
You were probably just picking up guys.
yeah. I don't remember. Anyways,
You probably picked up like a guy's last name with Dix and just threw him in your IR.
And then dropped him and threw him back in there.
I don't think you can do that more than 3 times.
I'm sure you find a way. Because I've tried. Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. Here we go. Are you sure you want to remove Luke Riley as a manager from Return of the CMC? Yes. I gotta go to the league office. Yep. And members. Oh! He's gone. That is Team 13. I just got an email confirmation. Do you guys get emails? Member has been removed. No email. Sad. Well, it's been fun, Luke.
We have enjoyed your company in the gridiron.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was a pretty long thought, actually, going through Luke's history. Thanks for chatting, guys.
Ellis? Are we done? It's time to retire.
You got the outro?
Oh yeah, play the outro, dude. It's gonna have Luke in it for the last time.
You guys have to entertain.
It's on our YouTube channel.
I know.
We've talked, for those of you who've been wanting it, we're going to try and do weekly podcasts again this season. We'll do our best. Everyone gets busy and stuff, crap, pops up. But, yeah, he'll be back better than ever. Best season yet. Stay tuned for draft order reveal.
And we'll set up a league meeting pretty soon here, too. Go over any rule changes, scoring changes, yada, 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 get all that business out of the way, any changes. The committee will vote if anyone who wants to join. If there's something undecided or bigger, we'll bring it to the rest of the league. But, yeah, should be a good year.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, let's see, Luke. You can find your way back in. Yeah, just Mary Lily.
Yeah. Or Grammy Tammy.
The Gridiron.
This has been the Gridiron Podcast. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Featuring Kayla, Tate, Sam, Travis, Eli, Gabe, Aaron, Jason, Kevin, Rex, AJ, Eddie, Luke, Rex, AJ, Eddie, Luke. This is Gridiron.